Now I would like to invite Dr. Mansi Kakkad ma'am. Mansi Kakkad ma'am is Assistant Professor in Department of Management, Christ Institute of Management, Rajkot. Ma'am will deliver their session on how to write an academic and business case study. Mansi ma'am, please.
Greetings and good to all present here. Sir, can I please get the access to share my screen?
Yes, ma'am. I made you presenter. Now you can share your screen.
Thanks. All right, this seems good to go. Thank you. Respected organizer, sir, I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible now.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Respected organizers and on board, a very good attendees. All to I my and the session is basically on why are important because on the case studies are marks, credentials, but somewhere it is us. We work on something which has an excellent practical, the awareness of church and how benefit the economies of the country and the world. So when Dr. Naveen Kumar did invited me to deliver a session with the topic of academic writing, I was very sure that I want to talk on case studies. Not that because I belong to the management arena, but somewhere I understand that why we as researchers need to give a sure space to ourselves and students on understanding the aspects that are delivered in academics. The real relevance of case in is in or the books. The exploratory research much long rather out of self on I mean by with my making you aware about case study added slides. So what is my agenda with the case studies here? Usually calling my course agenda. This is on the lesson. I usually have a 10 hours or session as lessons is because they are the outcomes. So I use case studies. The second is the of case studies. What is negatives of case Sir, can you please check are my slides moving because I'm not able to confirm it whether the slides are moving or not.
Your slides are moving, ma'am, but there is some issue with your audio.
Yeah, no. Actually, I muted myself is because I was checking on the course of the slides being
right.
Yes,
ma'am.
All right, sir.
Fine.
Okay, that's right, sir. Thank you. All right, so as I begin my session, it is pretty important to make you aware on the session agenda. So what am I going to focus today is why use case studies, what are the learning objectives of a case study, steps in analyzing a case study, common errors that are usually made when we analyze the case, and a few case samples if the time permits. Case study basics. Case study essentially explain how and why questions in research. Case studies can be used to help understand a causal link between the medical inventions and why a therapy works in certain patient population. They are the most powerful, and why we use it is because of the statistical analysis cannot always be the base. It is just a simple example of whenever we are working on creating something, it usually doesn't give us a proper shape is because we have not understood where exactly the scope or the opportunity of our research lies. I think case studies or a small caslet, the way we would call it, helps us in understanding that causal link of where exactly the application of the research would go. I consider it rather a more powerful weapon than just a statistical analysis base. I happen to be a data analyst, and I understand that how the decision making in a data driven world is changing. But it is very important for all academicians and researchers to understand that there is a fine pattern of relating the real life problems and why are we working on developing the solutions for it. So somewhere it is not necessary as when I was hearing a wonderful professor, Dr. Kaur, when she said that not everything needs to be fabricated or brought into the flower some way, but somewhere there is a fine or a small link which goes missing, and probably a small caslet would solve the problem for us. And usually it is not the larger than life picture which needs solution every day. There are a lot of real time problems, there are a lot of problems that every business organization, that every educational institute as well finds difficult to cover up with. And I think case study somewhere when included in syllabus does wonders for students. And I have seen students being more involved when they are aware with the term of okay, they are to have a solution on real life problem. So yes, I think that they are essentially important for why and how questions. If I talk about the learning objectives of the case study basics, it is a very useful learning tool that is used in education to give student a feel for the complexities if the real work and how the theories, models, and research being studied can be used in practices. See, it is pretty important for us as academicians to inculcate this habit of every theoretical backup being questions when students read at university level. We just cannot be school tutors to them. We have to develop and we have to give them research studies, case studies as a tool of learning. I think we as academicians would fail if we are not able to give them awareness on how the theoretical models, the backup, the development of various analysts have worked. In fact, if this learning tool habit is not inculcated in students, we as researchers, come on, our theories will then just be in stakes. So let's not do that. To diagnose what the problems or the issues in the case are, why they have occurred, to consider a variety of solutions, and to justify what you believe is to be the best solution. Give them problems, give them space to come up with alternative solutions. That is more important. Why case studies are made part of curriculum or basics when you enter graduation or post graduation? The reason is this: because real time complexities need an eye of the younger generation. We have to give them a fair diagnosis pattern where they can actually come up with the issues and problems that are solved. The internships and the project works, when they are part of the curriculum, will serve the purposes when they understand that they are to come up with solutions, and the best solutions can then be taken care of. So what are the steps in analyzing a case study? Gain and establish. Gain an overview of case, establish what has happened, like specify the objectives. See, any research or any case study, when we are walking forward to develop it, when we are walking forward to gain something out of the productivity that we are investing, it is pretty important that we get an overview first. See, objectives cannot be developed at phase one. We need to have an overview of what exactly we are working upon, and then we can work on developing the objectives. Objective has to be part B of your step one. It cannot be step one, step A. This is not possible, is because when we are investing our energy, our resources, our time, the generic awareness of the concept happens to be the first step. Then we can definitely move on establishing the objectives. It is pretty important that the phase one happens to be the objectives, but after the groundwork has been cleared. I think we as researchers at times take time longer than we felt that we invested it upon, is because we are lacking the groundwork, the homework, the informatives which are to be taken care from the step one. This is where we need to play a very crucial role. First, gain an insight, work on the informations, analyze thorough of how exactly the representation or your research work is to be done, and then we can work on establishing the objectives after saying what has happened. Determine and develop. That is the step number 2. Determine the causes, develop the possible solutions. When you find a scope of improvement, development, or a problem solution, you need to determine exactly in context of what we are looking forward for. It is pretty important phase that we work on determination criteria. Definitely there'll be a lot of steps, a lot of protocols that we follow, but understand it is the term determination that matters. Problem statement, causes, or the opportunity findings. After determination, the phase comes development. Develop a possible solution. We cannot walk forward just because we have found something lucrative, something which is a jazzy term. We cannot do that. We as academicians, we as researchers play a very crucial role of defining the exact causes and working forward for the solutions. With the knowledge and the work that we put forth, definitely the solutions can be of work for various organizations working and churning the economies, and then it can exactly help us with the evolution. Yes, evolution and revolution as a term are not contradictory, but rather synonyms when we are trying to work on a problem and we have developed possible solutions for it. Then the phase comes of evaluating. Evaluate the solutions. If I have come up with a problem and I propose a solution, it needs to have a groundwork. These days, the concept of data analyst, decision making, business analytics is playing a role. The reason is this: because somewhere we have understood that data driven decision making has power. It is the science that plays a role. So somewhere a fair evaluated solutions will have a better implication, and definitely it will make a difference when we are bringing it up for the society. Then formulating. Recommendations that we give, the write-up of the solution is a very important criteria. It is the first step analysis of a case that happens. Gain an overview, establish it, develop and determine, evaluate it, and formulate it. This is what I call the basic steps in analyzing a case study. I also have proposed an alternative method for case study analysis, which is very simple to follow, but I think that it is important that we as academicians have case studies in our curriculums, not just as a practical module, but also when we are delivering our basic lessons and content. Analytics is a boon of this era, and somewhere using it not just for the research purposes or case studies, even 1,000-word caselet will do our work, because we are in a world where data is a problem, and in fact the world is a big data problem. And that is how I frame the statements. Why do we use techniques, why do we use a lot of methods to reach to a decision, a solution? The reason is this: because the world is a big data problem. So these are the alternative steps that I propose. Obviously, what is the business problem, what factors affect the problem, and how would your team solve the problem, and then the justification. I recently happened to attend a FDP on creating case study methodologies, which was from SMA Group, and the day one happened to be from IIM Sambalpur's director. And the gentleman started with a fine word saying that we academicians have a major role to play, and we need to focus on giving the practical education to our students, is because somewhere every day we are facing a new problem, be it pandemic, be it economies going down, be it countries coming up with alternative defensive strategies, alternative economic strategies. So somewhere we are not only fighting a war within, but there is a war of development, there is a war of innovation, there is a wall of disruption. So we need to focus overall on where we can gain the knowledge and definitely transfer it as an insight to our students, the future generations that we are grooming. Now, when we say that case study analysis, what exactly are we doing in case study analysis? We are working on gaining an overview of the case. As I said, the step one. Now let's understand what exactly I mean by it in step description. Not that the case studies often contain substantial information with information presented in something chaotic order. See, the descriptions, the write-up usually are not in a structured form. We as analysts play a role of organizing the information first. Why do we work on gaining an overview? The reason is that information is not precise. It is put as it is analyzed. So somewhere it is not in a perfect order. It is not in an order where we can chronologically get awareness of it. So case studies usually present information in chronology order. We need to make sure that it is on a perfect mode where it can be analyzed, where we can come up with feasible solutions. So please make sure that gaining an overview doesn't only mean reading it out, but it also means to work on the substantial information it has and present it in a fair chronology. Establish what has happened or the business problem. Be it any genre of studies that we are delivering, be it science field, be it commerce field, be it technology field, but it is very important that there is an establishment of what is being done. I had excellent speakers before me who told you about why we need to analyze literature review, why the secondary data, why the homework on the grounds of research presentation is important. I would not focus on saying why, but I would just make sure that I put a full stop on what they have said, that yes, it is important that we establish what has happened. Our groundwork is very important, and the information needs to be on a fair detail, because without details it is not research, it is just a write-up, and write-up, their attendees do not serve the purposes. So as respected ma'ams have earlier stated, that it is very important to focus on the research methodology, on the secondary data, on the groundworks. I would really want to put a bigger full stop saying that the statement they have presented is pretty precise, establish what has happened and gain the problem. Go over the case in a greater detail to establish a clear picture of what has happened. And how do we do this? What has happened? 4 WH questions: who, what, where, and when of the situation. If you say why a case and what a case, I think my entire session can be summarized with these 4 questions: who, what, where, and when of the question. Establish this, and somewhere you will reach at least a feasible solution that can be presented. Specify an objective for managers or the people involved. Evolve. It is very important that we evolve and involve people. See, I usually use involve and evolve as synonyms. The reason is we are in an era where if we don't give facts, it is of no use. We need to get into a zone where we understand that we are in a phase where everything new is coming up and we have to be ready. So once an academic or a business problem has been identified by the students or by us, we should think about the outcomes that we would, or the company expects us to give them. Let students know they are the consultants of the case. See, this is where I think the practical learning and space we as university teachers or university faculties get is that we can give them this practical age of thinking as business consultants or thinking as engineers who are solving the problem. Very, very important point that I would want all academicians and all researchers to focus upon is space. Give them the freedom to come up with excellent solutions. Give them the freedom to analyze and read the case on their own. Give them peer teaching concepts. Because a caslet or a case is not that comprehended enough so that they can come up with the problems and they themselves get the ownership. Once students get this age of ownership, it becomes very precise for them to focus on things, and we can give them this age. Is because when we do our homework right, when we do our analysis right, when they get the freedom, I think the mixture that comes out is where we are providing an excellent solution to the companies, to the countrymen, to the country government themselves. Why we enjoy the label of researchers? The reason is this: because we give them freedom with the solutions, and when they are right or wrong, we can add in. It is like, see, quantify the desired result if possible. It can be we wish to reduce an IR aging by 15%. Simple as that, the alteration and aging by 15%. So a solution needs to be very precise and to the point. You cannot work on multiple solutions on your groundwork, on your initial phases, and especially with the students. So the case study analysis that is taking place in a classroom needs to be very fair in terms of the objectives they have, in the context of the work that they are carrying forward for. Determine the causes and the issues. Ask students to consider a variety of possible solutions or issues to see how well they are supported by facts of the case and how well they explain what has happened. Determine the causes and issues. See, solutions cannot be step one. Solution happens to be the end of the journey. So they also need to understand what exactly it is to work on the path of research or case study analysis. Try to separate what exactly they are looking forward for in problems. It is very important. Rank the order of critical problems and issues. See, one case study or two that we analyze usually doesn't come up with one problem that can be defined. Rather, ranking the priority will also teach them priority management of problems. It is where researchers understand which solutions are to be fine-lined. It is how precisely we work on developing a case, analyzing a case, and then coming up with the solution. Priority management solves a lot of purpose. The order setting of the problem will definitely give you detailed solutions. So inculcate that habit in students. Determine the case and issues and rank the order of critical problem or issues that is being faced by the company or the caslet or case study that you have developed. Working on the possible solutions. Students should develop several possible solutions and problems. It is very important. Let them come up with a lot of strategies. That creative space is important, and I think more than academic writing or research, case study writing solves this purpose, is to give them space and freedom of ownership. Different solutions may need to be considered depending upon whether the aim is to have prevented what has already happened, to salvage the present solution, to avoid similar problems in future. As case study writing or the case study development happens, we need to keep these solutions in mind. This could be the second pillar of the session that I want to deliver today, will be to make sure that the stages or the solutions are in a pattern where we are solving these three problems. First is whether it can be prevented what has occurred, or can we work on the present solution being fine, or can we avoid the similar problems in future. How to write a case study, be it business or academic, these are the three important criteria that we need to take care of when it comes to developing the possible solutions. Try, prevent, work on the salvation of the present situations or the present circumstances, and avoid similar problems in future. It can be either of them or club of them, but this is where the research should be taken, at an edge of. Now, when we do the investigation of the solution, consider each possible solution, detailing exactly what would need to be done to implement it. Solutions will likely be in line with the concepts of learned in course, be it engineering, be it geography, be it geometric department as a whole, or be it management department as a learning genre. But what is important is that we are able to link the theoretical concepts, the practical problems in a line, be it casual and not so much of analytically backed up, but somewhere we need to develop it, detailing exactly what needs to be done and implemented. Now that is where the investigation of the solution happens. How can it be done with students? Ask students to think about any constraints that are likely to make it difficult to implement any of this solution. If they are developing the problem, let them also develop the solutions. If you are working on a case study yourself, please take care that these are the criteria where the investigation, the actual evaluation will take place, right? It is either the technological constraints or the personal limitations, or there is a lack of resources. It is important to question our own work at times. It gives us a fine insight and clarity. Assign weights and values to the solution. Why are the chosen ideas superior, or how will they work? If you are not self-critic, if you are not in a phase where you are analyzing situations for yourself, I don't think so that we can come up with a fair solution. It is pretty important that we investigate what even we are presenting. This is where probably the knowledge ego will be questioned. Maybe we will be able to develop more insight, and this is how the investigation of the solution should be taking place, even for the students in the classroom. We as researchers and academicians firstly need to adopt a fair path of deliverables that we give in classroom. You become a teacher when you have an excellent content. You become a trainer, mentor, or a coach is when you give them space to work on the creative solutions for the problems that are prevailing in the society, be it in any genre. So why I have taken few slides where the word specific students are focused is because maybe as researchers, I might not be here to guide you on the case studies, but I want to be a factor where we can brainstorm on how this analysis can be taught in classrooms. As researchers, it's not only our responsibility to do a lot of writing, to come up with a lot of research, but also to give the same understanding thinking as legacy to our futures, as to our students, because already they are at a verge of entering the society. It is pretty important that we also focus on how the academic writing, case writing, the analysis writing can be inculcated and delivered in the classrooms to our students, where they understand that creative space and research is important. So assign weight and values to the solutions. Why this point is important is because what ideas, what solutions that we propose will also be in order of reality check, superiority check, the genre check. Whether, if I'm a management trainee person, if I'm giving a solution to engineering company, it should also be a genre check, that whether from the perspectives of what I understand as a problem is actually a problem or not. That groundwork is also important, and that work will help us to understand where our idea is superior. Formulate recommendations. Once you have investigated it, then formulate it. Students should recommend exactly how the solution can be implemented. Let them have the ideas of implementations, rather give them an upper hand where they themselves would go to the company, the institutes, the organizations, or the government themselves, where they can go and present it. A broad view of the situation should be taken. Mention that it may be best to implement a relatively simple, inexpensive solution with contingency plans for more elaborate solutions if the first one fails. The sheer, I can say, summary of what I wanted to deliver in my session will be this. How do we write case study, be it academic or business? This is where the important point focus has to be. Once you gain overview, once you develop and determine the problem, once you investigate it, the last point is formulating the recommendations. And why formulating the recommendations? The reason is we need to implement solutions which are relatively simple. See, I cannot go and deliver a classroom session to organizations. They might not have a relevance or a better connect to it. So what can be done is, if I develop a solution with even a contingency plan, it will be very easy for even the organizations to develop it. And if this factor is taken care, it will become very easy to say that my research or my work was worth. This is a very important criteria that we need to focus on. Dr. Sadanand, can you please off your mic, sir? Dr. Sadanand. Hello? Dr. Sadanand, please can you off your mic? It's a genuine request. Yeah, I think sir did off your mic. Sincere apologies, sir. I didn't meant any offense, but this is very important that we focus on elaborative solutions, giving a realistic solution to the economies, to the government is where the progression happens. So as researchers, it is our moral duty to make sure that we formulate the recommendations we give, plus the contingency plan has to be always in picture, because if the solutions fail, at least our plan B is there. So there is no loss of time or productivity that we invested in development of a case. Now write up. Writing up solution is a task of skill. We need training, we need competence, we need a lot of learning when it happens. What exactly I mean by write up solutions? It is generally a good idea to have a group of students write up solutions to the cases and in hand it to their instructors or us as academicians. Giving liberty to develop and write up solutions gives a lot of clarity of what problem is prevailing in that specific area, organization, or to government if we are presenting something. If class time permits, instructors may call on various groups, present problems, and give solutions. I think this is where the role of academicians is still of an upper hand, is when they give them creative space. When we as academicians understand that coming up with lot of problem and solutions will find they give them clarity on the practical approaches, give them better understanding of what theory that we teach. So please, if we can have this write-up solution sessions in the classrooms, that shall be really nice. A case study becomes a practical way of learning is when this criteria is fulfilled, giving them the space for the write-up solutions. Now, what are the common errors that are usually made in analyzing the case studies? Case study overviews, when we talk about this topic, it is very important that we present on common errors that usually happen. Is because, see, not understanding and accepting the facts of the case. We cannot be rigid with our approach of what we are gaining overview of. We need to have this one fine word which is known as faith. Faith on the facts. We cannot work without thoroughly analyzing the facts that are presented in the case, is because if it was developed, it would have a backup of it. So this is a very common error that we usually make, is we are not accepting the facts, not explaining exactly what the problems are and when they occurred. See, why I focused my first part of the session on gaining overview, the reason is this. Because this is one of the crucial errors that are usually made, is when you are not going on understanding and explaining the exact problem and what exactly would have happened when that occurred. Making unwarranted assumptions, try to simplify the case. Yes, if I say that when we are formulating case, I did say that it has to be simple solution, but to simplify it, I just cannot work on assumptions. That's why the word investigation, that's why the word evaluation was there. Sticking to generalities of try, like, you know, I have seen this a lot of time. When there are article representations, when there are research article writing, we do come up with certain pyramids and certain framework, but we at the worst must try to improve communication. Now this kind of generic statements cannot be outcome. Sticking to generalities is not the task of researchers. If I'm here to make my presentation, why starting from the importance of case study in one statement, I switch to what we need to do in the classroom? The reason is because it is my role not to generalize any topic as a spokesperson. If I have been handed the responsibility of being in the panel of experts, I want to make my point pretty clear that if we as researchers have an edge of writing a case, if we understand the format and styles, if my respected seniors here who did delivered excellent sessions on how exactly the writing is conducted, I thought it was my sure responsibility of making sure that all this conduct is then fairly implemented on classroom deliverables. I wanted to make sure that I just don't move out of the topic of academic writing, but how the role of academic writing plays a crucial role in classroom deliverables, how it is linked to the practical learnings for the student is an equally important part of academic writing. Why it is an academic writing is because it needs to be utilized for academicians, for the students, and for all the professionals who are looking forward to give a solution, to educate a solution to society, to government, to business organization. My sheer motive today in the session was to give you an analytic overview of case study, not only in the context of writing, but also to deliver it in the classrooms. It is pretty important that all of us need this, you know, fine genre of classroom deliverables where we are not just sticking to the theories or not being rigid about the concepts that we have learned in time, but also to upgrade ourselves, also to make sure that we trained enough to do the needful things. Now this is the second slide of common errors, and probably few of the last is because see, not integrating the various points, not integrating the various points into a preferred solution is also equally important. Not using theories and concepts currently being studied in the course. See, trending, development, disruption, these are not just the words. Why the role of researchers is above every human when it comes to the academia world? The reason is this: we need to walk with the trend. We are someone who bridges the gap of theoretical, traditional, old school concepts, relating them to the modern and innovative solutions. Even that is the task of researchers. So please, as academicians, as case study writers, make sure we do not make this error. Seeking ways out of the situation, such as fire them all. This is not a solution that we can give to any business organization, because we just cannot. Let's elaborate it a bit more. If I am a case study writer and I have identified a problem of an organization, I cannot give them just a solution saying that, okay, you need to fire your few employees. I need to consider cost, I need to consider work investment, I need to consider human resource, as a company would have invested in the trainings also. And what about the employment? So as a case developer, as a case writer, I need to fairly think about solutions which are realistic, which are real time, and which are of a fair implication. We as case writers have the responsibility of giving a fair solution to the organizations, to the research panelists, where the problem is gradually developed or the opportunity has been identified. The last common error that I say we usually make is ignoring practicalities. We cannot be rigid or old school in our concepts. We have to have a feasible, practical ground check. When we are analyzing a case, when we are writing a case, being aware about our surroundings, being aware of all the external and internal factors that would somewhere impact the problem or the opportunity that has been identified in accordance to the concept or the solution that we develop is equally important. So please do not make an error of sticking to just the concepts, not giving a fair consideration to the innovative concept are usually the common errors that we would make. So by this, I would end my session. If I go to the quick summary of what I wish to deliver and what I think I was being able to, come up with, will be, when we are writing a case, it is pretty important that we have a fair overview of a possible solution, of a possible way of writing it. There are 4 basic criteria that we take care of. The first is gaining an overview and then developing the objectives, developing and determining problem and solution, giving a fair investigative time in understanding the solutions that we have formulated, and then on a ground check, reality check, homework check, information check is where we need to understand the solutions that we have presented. It is very important that we consider the criteria not only on the ground of just the concepts, but we also need to understand that case studies are a very important tool to give a practical edge to even our students, In my session, I also tried coming up with points where I focus on how we can teach case study analysis to our students, where they can come up with possibly creative solutions. And the last two criteria that I focused upon, the first one happened to be understanding that the solutions, the write-up solutions that we give need to be fair on the ground, real-time basis, and we also need to come up with contingency plans for the same. And then the last point was identifying the common errors that we usually make while creating the case or analyzing a case. So I hope that I was able to justify the agenda of the workshop that I came up with, and I think we can dedicate 5-10 minutes to the question answer session if organizer permits. So I hope that there are a few questions online, or there are a few brainstorming pointers that we can come up with. Are there any?
A request to participants, if you have any doubts or query, you can write on chat box.
Yeah, please feel free. I would be really obliged if there are certain things. I'm switching my slides, so in case if there was any slide that needed attention or more elaboration, we can work on that as well. Dear participants, I hope I was able to justify the case study basics. Academicians are the leaders, the researchers are the leaders. That's how I put it, and that's why the session agenda had leadership as the slider pointer. I quite doubt, sir, that attendees have any questions. I think that's a good job done in that case. So please, now over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session. It was very appropriate and brief session about how to write a case study. I hope all the participants has enjoyed this session. I again request to all the participants, if you have any questions, you can ask right now, because there is no session today after this session. Now I have to close the session. If you want to ask any question, the house is open for all.
Yeah, in fact, and it is not just that we have to work on the questions, we can also brainstorm. There could be certain points that you might not
Yes.
agree to, or there might be certain pointers that you would agree to. It's not only agreeing and disagreeing, but even giving insights. So if there is anything, please. Because like if I say that when I attended this FDP of SMA, even the IIM directors were focusing on the same points, that case studies and case slates are not developed that much. Rather, it is an easy way to train students. So I think it is pretty important that every organization or every educational institute, be it working on the engineering or the development of many things, but they need to focus on giving them a practical edge, and that is very important. That is what I feel, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Rakhi Panchola, thank you, ma'am. I can read your comment. Thank you. But I hope that we would work on developing a lot of case slates. In fact, sir, why don't since you have been organizing many good workshops and everything on a fair ground, why don't all of you come up with this case study or a case slate competition? That shall be really nice, because अभी जैसे ही SMA group का मैं बता रही हूँ, there was this St. Peter's FDP that happened in Pune. They came up with a lot of case slates. So I think that you have a lot of your alibis of research, and you have a lot of researchers there. So I think that shall be very fair, and please really nice, sir.
Really, I am 100% agree with your point, ma'am. There should be some case writing competition or some contest about writing case studies, so that we can come through lots of brainstorming sessions and all in the way of case studies. That will be more better, really. Yes, we will work on that. Thank you, ma'am.
It is because there is not a rigorous process. It's not a lot of pain of taking a lot of time and doing it. it becomes very easy. And that's the point actually I wanted to endorse, that work on small feasible solutions every time. As even Dr. Kaur rightly said that um, there are certain criteria that usually people miss upon, or rather they are so much busy fabricating it or bringing that larger than life picture, which then really doesn't work when it comes to reality check. मतलब real time basis पे तो उसका implication हो ही नहीं पाता है कुछ.
Exactly,
And
ma'am.
so I definitely have a very high regard for both the ma'ams who delivered their session. I mean, I'm on a real time fan of them. I'm gonna personally write emails to them saying that it was a really fine session. I hope that she is online and she is able to hear what I'm saying, but I'm very skeptical whether she's there or not. Is she there, sir?
Let me check, ma'am. I'm checking. No, both
the ma'ams, right?
No, they are not here right now.
Yeah, I'm sure because it's Sunday today.
Because of their
So
some other
obviously
schedules
occupancy
were there also.
Definitely. It is in fact International Yoga Research Day also.
Yes.
So yoga
Also, there is
and
the
research day also. So,
biggest solar eclipse today.
oh yes, 12 o'clock it is to happen. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, sir. Right. Okay. Now, with that, sir, I would give thank you credits to Dr. Naveen Kumar and you, because you have always been the stronger pillars of organizing such excellent symposiums and FDP programs. So, a very big grateful thank you to all of you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
With this session, I want to say that for today, our FDP session is concluded, and tomorrow we will again start the second day of FDP at sharp 9 o'clock. I request all the participants, we will share the link of tomorrow's session by today evening in the WhatsApp group. So I request all of you to join tomorrow around 5:80 a.m. so that we can start our session on time. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to all participants. Thank you.